Hi all, welcome to our new video today. I am Makara, a teacher of English at Preslip New Generation School. Today we continue to talk about Unit 4, Special Places. But today we are going to talk about reading skill, famous places. Also, today in this video, you will be able to practice reading about Buckingham Palace. Number 2, you will be able to learn new words, practice doing tasks about Buckingham Palace. And number 3, you will be able to describe the Buckingham Palace through reading and doing tasks, and Golden Gate Bridge by doing homework. Right, so in this video, you are going to learn 2 famous places in the world. But before we get started our new lessons, I want you to think about what did you learn in the previous video. Right, look at the question here. What did you learn in the previous video? As I remember, we learned about amazing places, right? And also I remember you were given a homework which is about Hostel Galligo Mastine, right? So last time I want you to search about his information and fill with a very brief information of him. Like I want you to fill with his date of birth, where he lived, nationality, other names, education, occupation, family, and accomplishment, right? And here we go. Let's have a look with the correcting homework here. And you also have to look at the picture of Don Hostel, right? Hostel Galligo Mastine was born on September in 1925. And according to our listening text, he is over 80 years old, right? In actual information in our Google, I found he is 92 years old. But don't worry about this information. And where does he live? He lives in Mayorada del Campo community, Madrid of Spain. So it means he lives in Spain. So what is his nationality? His nationality is Spanish. And the other name or nickname, most people call him Don Hostel. And his education, he ended his education in 1936 because of civil war at the age of 11 years old. Of course, in our listening track, he is a farmer, but in our actual information from the Google, he also is a builder and architect, and there is no information about his family. Right, last things I want you to do is accomplishment. So what is his accomplishment? The most important thing and the world famous building is cathedral building. Right, so here is the briefly information of Hostel Galligo Mastines. So I hope you learn something and you learn some information of him, and also you recognize him as the most famous man built cathedral building in Spain. Right, next I want you to go with me to the new lesson here, reading famous places, and just look at the 2 pictures here. Can anyone tell me what is the first picture mean and what is the second picture mean? Do you know the first picture? What is the building? And do you know a woman in the second picture? Don't worry if you don't know the information. If some of you know this information, just keep in mind. And we will go together through our reading tag and find out and be aware of this information together, because of the title of our reading today is famous places. And before we get directly to the reading, the first thing I want you to do is look at the 2 vocabulary or the 2 words which are very important for your reading. And the second thing is I want you to read the 4 questions before you are going to read the text with me. Right. So first thing is look at the first word here. So can you read the first word? Queen Elizabeth II. Right. As you can see, the picture next to the word is a photos of her. So Queen Elizabeth II is the Queen of the United Kingdom. She was born on April 21st, 1926. She is also 94 years old. So I think you got this information, right? And the second word is changing of the guard. So what does it mean, changing of the guard? As you can see, the 2 pictures here next to the word, they talk about guard. Many guards are walking or performing something, right? So what does it mean, changing of the guard? Changing of the guard mean the ceremony where the Queen Guard hand over responsibility for protecting Buckingham Palace. It happened every day outside the palace. So when the guard change or hands over the responsibility of protecting the Buckingham Palace, they have to perform a ceremony. So we call changing of the guard. Right? So you will meet in our reading text here. A second thing I want you to do is to read the 4 questions before you are going to read the text with me. Right. So look at the 4 questions here. Read and answer the question. Number 1, who live in the Buckingham Palace? Number 2, how do you know if the Queen is at home? Number 3, how many bedrooms are there? Number 4, what does the Queen do every summer? So you can stop it and read as you can remember the 4 questions. Because while you are reading, you have to read and find the answer to these 4 questions. So I hope now you get these 4 questions with me and move directly to the text. Right, let's start. Famous place, Buckingham Palace. Buckingham Palace is the London home of the British royal family. It is in the Westminster in the city center, a royal home. The palace was built in 1703, but it didn't become the home of the royal family until 1837. People know when the Queen is there because they can see the flag on the top of the palace. When she's away, the flag isn't there. The palace today. The Queen Elizabeth II does a lot of her work in the palace. 450 people work there. The palace has 775 rooms, including 52 royal and guest bedrooms, and 188 bedrooms for people who work in the palace. Visiting the palace. Thousands of people visit the palace every year. Many tourists watch the changing of the guard, a famous ceremony which happens every day outside the palace. In summer, tourists can visit some of the rooms inside the palace. Also, in the summer, the Queen invites about 50,000 people to see her garden parties. Also, in the summer, the Queen invites about 50,000 people to her garden parties. So that's it for our reading text, and it is a very short text, and I hope everybody can find the answer to the 4 questions. Right, let's go with me. First, I want you to look at the question again and try to answer question one by one with me. Right, so look at question number 1. Who live in the Buckingham Palace? Have you found the answer in the reading text? As you can see in the first paragraph, the British royal palace, right? The British royal family live in the palace. Okay. Number 2, how do you know if the Queen is at home? As you can see, the information in the second paragraph, they mentions about because of there is a flag on the royal palace. So when she is in the royal palace, the flag is on. but when she is away, the flag isn't there. Alright, number 3, how many bedrooms are there? So as you can see in the third paragraph, 188 for worker and 52 for royal and guest bedroom. So you can stop your reading and find the information in the paragraph number 3. And number 4, what does the Queen do every summer? Let's have a look at paragraph number 4. She invites 50,000 people to her garden Paris. So it means every summer she invites 50,000 people to her garden Paris. She usually do it in the garden. Right. So that's it for our reading lesson today. And I hope you all learn something from this text and this video. And don't forget, you have a last task to do is homework. Let's have a look with the homework together here. Right, so homework here, I want you to read the other text about the Golden Gate Bridge, which is located in San Francisco. And you have to read the text, a whole text, and do the question below. And this question is very easy. You just circle T for true, F for false, and DK, it means don't know. So there is no information about the statement. So you have to circle, read and circle. Don't forget to do it. If you do it, you know everything from this video, and you also learn very 2 famous places in the world. Oh, last thing I want to tell you, don't forget to do the quiz. I'm going to send you the link to the quiz, and this quiz is about Buckingham Palace. Read until you remember the information and go back to do the quiz so you get a high mark. And thank you for your watching this video, and I hope you enjoy this video and you learn something from this video. Thank you and goodbye, good luck.